In this video, we're diving into 15 standout JRPGs on Nintendo Switch that are absolutely worth playing in 2025. The system has built up one of the strongest libraries in the genre, mixing timeless classics, modern remasters, and ambitious new takes that all offer something different. Whether you're into tactical battles, sweeping open-world journeys, or story-heavy adventures with memorable characters, this list brings a bit of everything. We'll be looking at how each game plays, what makes its world engaging, and why it's still worth jumping into today.
Star Ocean: The Second Story R stands out on Switch thanks to the way it blends action combat, character-driven progression, and a world that mixes sci-fi tech with classic fantasy landscapes. You start by choosing one of two protagonists, and that decision shapes the journey, party composition, and even how certain story threads unfold. Exploration feels lively, with towns, dungeons, and an overworld that invite you to poke into side paths, trigger optional character moments, and uncover gear or crafting materials. Combat is fully real-time, letting you dive into quick combos, special arts, spells, and well-timed dodges that open opponents to counterattacks. Enemies often have shields that need to be broken before you can deal meaningful blows, adding a tactical layer to the flow of each encounter. Outside battles, skills and specialities let you refine your party through crafting, passive boosts, or support abilities that change how you approach tougher zones. With its branching paths, flexible systems, and steady rhythm of discovery, it remains one of the most rewarding JRPG experiences to play on Switch today.
Okay, so you can walk anywhere. It's a bit strange. Yes. The environment looks very good. I don't know why they chose the sprites like this.
Live Alive earns its place as one of the standout JRPG experiences on Switch, thanks to its unusual structure and the way it constantly shifts tone and mechanics. Instead of following a single storyline, the game lets you choose from several protagonists across completely different eras, each offering its own gameplay flavor. From stealth-driven tension in historical Japan to character-focused storytelling in the distant future. All of these chapters tie together through a flexible progression that encourages players to explore them in any order. Combat unfolds on a grid, where positioning and timing matter as much as raw stats, with abilities covering specific tiles, shaping movement options, or applying status effects that change the momentum of a fight. There's no traditional MP system, so skills rely on charge times or cooldowns that give battles a deliberate rhythm. Between the clean HD 2D presentation, era-specific mechanics, and smart quality-of-life touches, the game creates a sense of variety without losing cohesion, making it a must-play JRPG on Switch for anyone who appreciates inventive structure and tactical depth. The Legend of Heroes: Trails to Azure stands out on Switch thanks to its layered storytelling, tactical combat, and the way it builds a living world around Crossbell's political and social tensions. You follow the special support section as they dive deeper into conspiracies affecting every corner of the city, and the stakes feel more intense as new allies join and long-running conflicts escalate. Exploration flows smoothly, with visible enemies on the field, giving you control over when to engage and how to position your party before a fight. Once combat begins, the turn-based system shines through its mix of crafts for physical techniques and arts for magical abilities, both shaped by how you customize each character's equipment and orbment setup. This gives battles a strategic rhythm where timing matters, from interrupting enemy actions to lining up area attacks on clustered foes. Outside combat, the game rewards thorough players with side quests, character episodes, and small story threads that reinforce the sense of community and continuity in Crossbell. With its strong narrative focus, flexible party building, and refined mechanics, it remains one of the most engaging JRPGs available on Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition remains one of the strongest JRPG experiences on Switch, thanks to its massive world, flexible combat, and the sense of discovery that drives every step forward. Its environments stretch across towering fields and winding valleys built on the bodies of ancient titans, encouraging you to explore at your own pace, uncover landmarks, and complete optional quests that fill in the world's lore. Combat blends real-time movement with strategic cooldown-based abilities called arts, creating a rhythm where positioning matters just as much as timing. Each character leans into a unique role, and customizing their art setups, gear, and skill links opens room for experimentation. Whether you prefer tanking up front, supporting from mid-range, or setting up chain attacks that deal huge bursts of damage. Outside battles, the affinity system deepens relationships between characters, unlocking scenes and combat perks that reinforce party dynamics. The remastered visuals, cleaner interface, and general smoothing of the experience make returning to this world feel fresh, and the added content complements the original journey without disrupting its flow.
Pokémon Legends Arceus remains one of the most refreshing Pokémon experiences on Switch, thanks to how boldly it reworks exploration and progression. Instead of following fixed routes and scripted encounters, the game sets you loose across wide-open regions in Hisui, where Pokémon roam naturally and react to your presence in ways that feel more dynamic than past entries. You can approach them by sneaking through grass, tossing capture devices without entering battle, or initiating fights when needed, giving each encounter room for strategy and player choice. Combat still uses familiar turn-based moves, but the flow changes thanks to agile and strong styles that shift priority and power, letting you adapt to each situation on the fly. Traversal becomes part of the adventure as you unlock Pokémon that let you climb cliffs, glide across terrain, or move quickly through rivers and fields, opening new paths as your toolkit expands. Completing the Pokédex turns into a deeper RPG-like activity, asking you to observe behaviors, fulfill requests, and study each species, which makes the world feel alive. With its open structure and emphasis on discovery, it stands out as one of the strongest Switch adventures to revisit.
Trails in the Sky First Chapter remains a standout JRPG thanks to its character-first storytelling, tactical flexibility, and the way its world feels genuinely lived in. You follow Estelle and Joshua as they begin life as junior bracers, taking on small guild tasks that gradually reveal deeper political tensions across Liberl. Towns change as the story progresses, NPCs evolve their dialogue, and side quests contribute meaningfully to world building rather than feeling like filler. Combat unfolds on a turn-based field where movement, range, and timing matter, letting you combine crafts for immediate techniques and arts for more powerful spells that require charge time. Customizing orbments gives each character a distinct role, from healing and support to more aggressive elemental setups. Battles reward smart positioning, interrupt opportunities, and using terrain to your advantage. Exploration keeps things steady, with enemies visible on the map, allowing you to engage or avoid depending on your party's condition. The pacing mixes warm character moments with rising tension, creating a journey that balances lighthearted charm and slow-burn intrigue. With its thoughtful systems and rich narrative foundation, it stands tall as one of the best JRPGs to experience on Switch.
Joshua!
Got it!
Fire Emblem Three Houses remains one of the most compelling JRPG experiences on Switch, thanks to the way it blends tactical combat with character development and long-term decision-making. As a professor at the Officers Academy, you guide a chosen house of students through lessons, training sessions, and personal interactions that shape their strengths in battle. Teaching them new weapon proficiencies, unlocking class paths, and building support bonds creates a satisfying loop where the growth you see in conversation directly impacts combat performance. On the battlefield, strategy unfolds on grid-based maps where positioning, terrain, and coordinated team abilities matter. Units can grow into a wide range of classes, giving you the freedom to experiment rather than stick to rigid roles. Battalions add another layer, offering boosts or special actions that can turn the tide when used smartly. With its mix of academy life, relationship building, and thoughtful tactical encounters, the game keeps you invested both in the personal stories of your students and in crafting a squad that works together smoothly.
helpful?
Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, stands out on Switch thanks to its blend of cozy life simulation and light JRPG progression, giving you a world that grows with you rather than pushing you down a fixed path. You choose from a wide range of lives, each functioning as a job with its own abilities, letting you shift between gathering, crafting, or combat whenever the mood strikes. This freedom gives the game a relaxed rhythm, letting you mine ore, cook meals, catch fish, or dive into battles depending on what you want to accomplish that day. Exploration is set on an island you gradually restore, using a time travel twist to rebuild areas, unlock new zones, and even shape your own town by placing buildings and inviting residents. Leveling up each life deepens its benefits, creating a satisfying loop where mastering skills feeds into better resources, improved gear, and more efficient adventuring. While combat plays a role, the real hook is how the various activities connect, turning everyday tasks into progress toward your broader goals. With its charm, flexibility, and steady sense of personal growth, it remains one of the most engaging comfort RPGs on the system. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster stands out on Switch thanks to the way it preserves two classic JRPGs while giving their worlds a smoother, more vibrant presentation. Both games revolve around the idea of gathering the 108 Stars of Destiny, a huge cast of characters you recruit across cities, forts, and remote regions, each bringing their own skills and personality into your growing rebellion. Exploration moves quickly, with towns full of small stories and dungeons that mix straightforward layouts with short puzzles or enemy-filled paths. Combat remains turn-based and snappy, letting you form parties that blend physical fighters, mages, and special unite attacks that reward certain character combinations. The rune system adds another layer, granting unique abilities or elemental spells depending on what each character equips. Large-scale battles and one-on-one duels break up the traditional encounters, giving the narrative bigger moments without slowing the pacing. As you expand your headquarters, new facilities, shops, and optional characters appear, creating a real sense of building a community. With their mix of fast combat, political storytelling, and massive recruitable casts, these remasters remain some of the most rewarding JRPG adventures to revisit on Switch. NieR Automata, The End of YoRHa Edition, remains one of the most distinctive action RPGs on Switch, thanks to its fluid combat, layered structure, and the way it blends multiple gameplay styles into one cohesive journey. You control androids navigating a ruined Earth, moving through open zones filled with machine enemies while shifting between fast melee attacks, ranged pod fire, and perfectly timed dodges that reward precision with stylish counterstrikes. The RPG side comes through in how you customize loadouts using upgradable weapons and plug-in chips that alter stats, abilities, and even small quality-of-life features, letting you tailor builds toward offense, mobility, or survivability. Exploration keeps a smooth pace, with hidden chests, optional areas, and side quests that expand the world's melancholy atmosphere. What makes the game stand out even more is how it blends genres mid-flow. One moment, you're in a hack-and-slash brawl. The next, you're navigating bullet hell patterns or shifting into a different camera perspective to match the scenario. Its structure encourages multiple playthroughs, each revealing new perspectives and story layers, creating a payoff that feels richer the deeper you go. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake shines on Switch because it captures the charm of a classic JRPG while reworking the presentation and flow to feel modern and inviting. The remake rebuilds the journey with striking HD 2D visuals, pairing pixel art sprites with detailed environments and lively lighting that make towns, fields, and dungeons feel warm and atmospheric. Exploration follows the timeless loop of traveling across continents, uncovering secrets, and diving into monster-filled areas. But everything moves more smoothly thanks to polished movement and a clearer interface. Combat stays rooted in traditional turn-based choices, letting you balance spells,
physical attacks, and formation strategy, while managing a custom party built from different vocations. These vocations carry real impact, shaping your team into specialists or hybrids, depending on how you want to approach tougher encounters. The remake also smooths the pacing with small conveniences that never break the old-school feel, making leveling, equipping, and party management more intuitive. With its blend of nostalgia, refined mechanics, and a world that still feels adventurous, it stands as one of the most enjoyable classic-style JRPGs to play on Switch today.
Lunar Remastered Collection stands out on Switch because it brings two beloved fantasy JRPGs back with cleaner visuals and smoother pacing, while preserving the warmth that made the originals memorable. Both adventures follow classic structures, exploring towns, chatting with expressive NPCs, navigating dungeons, and building a party that grows through straightforward, turn-based combat. But the remaster tightens the experience with faster battle animations, optional auto-battle, and tidier inventory management. Characters still fill defined roles, relying on simple but satisfying mixes of physical attacks, spells, and support abilities, creating encounters that move quickly without losing that retro charm. The refreshed presentation gives the pixel art a cleaner finish and sharpens animated cutscenes, while still offering the option to return to a more classic visual style if desired. The heart of the collection lies in its storytelling. Earnest heroes, lively companions, and a tone that blends humor, adventure, and heartfelt moments. With two full-length journeys wrapped in improved usability and a faithful visual upgrade, this collection delivers an inviting slice of JRPG history that feels right at home on Switch.
Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age remains one of the most polished and enjoyable JRPGs on Switch, thanks to its blend of traditional turn-based combat, detailed world building, and steady sense of adventure. The journey unfolds across vibrant regions where each town, field, and dungeon feels handcrafted, full of small discoveries and NPCs that add life to the world. Combat sticks to the classic formula, but thrives on its clarity and balance. Picking actions, managing buffs, exploiting weaknesses, and choosing the right skills all matter, giving each encounter a thoughtful rhythm. As characters grow, their skill trees let you shape their combat identity, enhancing specific weapon types, boosting magic potential, or unlocking supportive abilities depending on your preferred party setup. Exploration also benefits from the game's clean pacing. Moving across its regions feels natural, with side quests that reward curiosity without bogging down progress. The Switch version's refinements, from improved audio to smoother flow, help tie everything together. With its mix of deep yet approachable mechanics and a world that always rewards another step forward, it stands as one of the strongest JRPG experiences available on the system. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles stands out on Switch because it delivers a deep, methodical tactical experience built around flexible progression and a narrative that carries real weight. Battles unfold on isometric, grid-based maps, where height, terrain, and turn order matter, pushing you to think several moves ahead rather than relying on brute force. The job system remains the core of its identity. Dozens of classes let you mold each unit into exactly what you want, and mastering jobs opens new combinations of skills that make party building feel endlessly customizable. Every action, from spellcasting to movement, interacts with the charge time system, meaning planning around speed and timing can define the outcome of a fight. Outside of combat, the world of Ivalice grounds the experience with political tension, shifting alliances, and a tone that treats the story with maturity. Quality-of-life touches like faster animations and cleaner UI help modernize the experience without removing its strategic bite. With its combination of layered mechanics, challenging encounters, and a narrative that lingers long after, it remains one of the strongest tactical JRPGs you can play on Switch.
It's time.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake works beautifully on Switch because it refreshes two foundational JRPGs with modern presentation while keeping their classic structure intact. The remake uses the striking HD 2D style to give towns, dungeons, and overworld landscapes more depth and atmosphere, making exploration feel warmer and more inviting than in the originals. Both games keep their straightforward turn-based systems, but animations are smoother, menus are cleaner, and combat flows faster, making grinding and regular encounters far less tedious. The first game still focuses on a lone hero, turning its adventure into a tight, focused journey where resource management and smart routing matter. The second expands into full party-based combat, letting you combine spells, physical techniques, and support abilities across multiple characters. New touches, like additional abilities and modern balancing, help both adventures feel more cohesive, while the expanded dialogue and environmental details give the world a richer sense of place. Together, these upgrades create a pair of short but satisfying adventures that retain their old-school heart while offering a smoother, more accessible experience on Switch.
And that wraps up our look at 15 of the best JRPGs you can play on Nintendo Switch in 2025. Each one brings its own style, from deep tactical systems to relaxed exploration or classic turn-based setups that still feel great today. If any of these caught your eye, let me know which ones you're planning to try, or which favorites you think deserve a spot in a future list. Thanks for watching, and if you're into JRPGs, game reviews, or breakdowns like this, consider sticking around for more. Until next time, enjoy your adventures and keep your party strong.